Campania was conquered by the Romans and it experienced one of the most flourishing periods in its history. In particular, in the 2nd century AD, the Romans cultivated and protected the Hellenistic culture of Neapolis, and they honored the philosophers and rhetoricians who continually came to Naples from Greece. The most clear evidence of the tolerance atmosphere is the presence of one of the greatest centers of Epicureanism. Due to its atmosphere, its Greek art, and its natural beauty, Neapolis became the summer residence of the Roman patricians, who built luxurious houses between Puteoli and Sorrento, such as Scipio the African, Sylla, Tiberius, Nero, Brutus, Cicero, Horace, Pliny the Elder, and Virgil.
The Ice Olympics of the 2nd century AD were a sporting event that took place in the islands of the Aegean Sea, and which may also have involved some cities on the coast of Asia Minor. Unfortunately, due to the scarcity of historical sources and documents, little is known about these Olympics, except that they took place in a period when the Roman Empire was at its peak. There are some sources that mention these games, but they are often confusing and not very detailed. For example, in a passage from the epic poem of the 2nd century AD, Nonno di Paenolimpis Dionysiaca refers to an island refuge of fish where running, wrestling and javelin throwing competition are held. However, Nonno does not specify which island is in question or the name of the sporting event. Then there is Polideuso di Lato, a grammarian and lexicographer of the 2nd century AD, who mentions the Ice Olympic in the work on the meaning of proper names. Here he describes a certain Epimelides of Chios, who allegedly won the so-called Ice Olympic wrestling competition, which he allegedly participated. Again, however, the details are missing. In any case, it seems that the Ice Olympics were a sporting event of some importance, even if less known than the more famous Olympics and Panathinaik. It seems that athletes from various islands and some coastal cities of the region took part in it, although it is not known for certain which ones they were. Furthermore, it seems that the games took place on a regular basis and that they included various sports. In summary, the Ice Olympics of the 2nd century AD are a little known and documented subject of ancient history. The sources that cite them are scarce and fragmentary and do not allow us to accurately reconstruct this sporting event. However, it is probable that the Ice Olympics had some importance for the communities involved and helped to spread the practice of sport in the Aegean region. The Neapolitan Ice Olympic Games, established in honor of Rome and Augustus, and compared to the Olympians in terms of degree and characteristics. The games were held in two distinct parts of athletic and equestrian contests, musical and dramatic contest, and a day devoted to judging, panel discussions, and religious rallies. Participation in the competitions was also open to women, which was forbidden in ancient times. The epigraph lets us know that the victory of Seiaspes, daughter of Seius Liberalis, in the 39th Italian in the year 154 AD. It was the first documented event of women's involvement in Neapolitan games. The novelty was then accepted in the regulations of the Ludi Capitolini by Domitian, but abolished shortly after. The competitions were open to competing athletes from any region of the Hellenic world. The competitions were held every 4 years and lasted 4 days between the end of July and the beginning of August. Later they were moved to 22nd September to coincide with Augustus' birthday.
The cyborgs were the most important and famous prophecies or oracles in the ancient Greek world. The Sibyl most concerned the Romans was the Cuman Sibyl, located near the Greek city of Naples, whom Virgin Enea consults before his descent to the lower world. More precisely, her cave was located in Cuma, a city founded by the same Greeks, who had previously founded Pithecusa, the island where we live. According to tradition reported by Virgin in his Aeneid, her temple would have been built by Daedalus. This demonstrates a strong bond between Naples and the Greek world. Daedalus, as his fame, freeing the Minoan kingdoms, sailed the unusual route to the icy bears and later finally stopped on the Chalcidian rocks. He consecrated to Euphoebus the winds, the oar, and founded gigantic temples.
In the Roman family, the father had the duty to educate his sons, but he didn't care much about his daughter's education. It was his responsibility to feed them, to control their morality, and to combine a good marriage. The rest was the mother's duty. In the patrician houses, tutors educate girls to be good wives and mothers. Parents, especially the ones who were rich, preferred that their daughters study at home in order to avoid danger and preserve their virginity. Some women managed to reach high educational levels, but they weren't always well considered. A woman who had studied Greek and Latin was called Doctabuella and was often considered annoying.
In ancient Rome, a daughter could be betrothed to a man against her will when she was still very young. Betrothed women promised to be loyal to their future husband even before the marriage. After the marriage, the wife moved from her father's house to her husband's house. Marriages had mainly an economic or social purpose.
The most binding marriage was the confarreatio, from the penis farius, spelled bread eaten by the bride and groom as soon as they entered their new home. Then there was the coemptio, with which the father gave his daughter to the groom for a pecuniary compensation. The US, on the other hand, was the amnesty of a de facto condition, by which those who lived together for an entire year, without an interruption of 3 consecutive nights, become spouses. A Roman woman could have been given by her father to her husband as early as 12 years old, but we find a funerary inscription that mentions girls married at 10 and 11 years old, a custom that makes us shiver today.